Do you believe there are thieves who left the scene carrying piles of gold and silver right in front of the police? No gunshots, no running, just a deck of cards, a bottle of liquor, and a lie so convincing it made even justice hesitate. This is no joke, but a true story, one that took place in England on a cunning winter night. On a cold winter night in the outskirts of Victorian England, two thieves, an older gentleman, cunning as a fox, and a young, inexperienced boy, quietly broke into a small brick house tucked behind a row of old oak trees. It was not a lavish nobleman's mansion, merely the warm, cozy home of a middle-class family. The silence was so complete that only the steady ticking of the pendulum clock on the wall echoed through the night. The two thieves crept through each room, careful as ghosts, carrying a small oil lamp. Under the pale yellow light, they discovered many valuable items. Neatly stacked British pounds in a safe, intricate gold necklaces, gemstone-studded rings, pearl earrings, and several ancient coins from the time of Edward III, so rare and precious that even museums would covet them. They stuffed everything into leather satchels. The young boy whispered, unable to hide his excitement, "We're so lucky tonight." But then, the old man suddenly stopped, a glint of mischief flashing in his eyes. "Shall we play a hand of cards?" he said, as if inviting an old friend to afternoon tea. "What did you say?" "We should leave before someone finds us," the young man whispered in panic. "Calm down, boy." The old man raised his hand to signal him. "Do as I say. Fetch a deck of cards, pour me a bottle of red wine, and bring 3 crystal glasses." The young thief didn't understand a thing, but he followed the instructions anyway. He laid the vintage deck of cards out on the lace-covered tea table in the living room. Next to the cards, he neatly placed the stacks of money and stolen jewelry, making them look like the winnings of a gentleman's card game. His hands trembled as he poured red wine into the 3 crystal glasses already set. The clinking sound of the glasses tapping together startled him. Then, the old thief spoke softly, as though giving an order to a servant. "Turn on the television." "What?" the boy whispered in shock. "Are you serious? If the homeowner hears this, we're done for." "Just do it," the old man replied, his voice firm like that of a general commanding troops. With his hands shaking uncontrollably, the boy fumbled to switch on the old television set. The screen flickered to life, casting a dim glow across the room. But they were out of time. Footsteps echoed on the wooden hallway floor. Too late. The homeowner had woken up. He stormed into the room like a whirlwind, gripping a sturdy oak cricket bat, his face flushed red with fury. "Don't move, or I'll call the police," he shouted, tightening his grip on the bat, as if ready to strike. Yet the old thief didn't flinch. Calmly, he glanced at the boy and said, as though seated in a nobleman's casino, "Keep playing. Don't mind him." The young boy couldn't believe his eyes. How could the old man remain so calm while they were being caught red-handed? Meanwhile, the homeowner hurriedly called the police, his voice cracking with rage. When the neatly uniformed police officers arrived at the door, they were met with the most bizarre sight of the night. 2 gentlemen, one older, one younger, were seated at a tea table, playing cards with half-filled glasses of wine, surrounded by cash, sparkling jewelry, and an old television still broadcasting a late-night program from the national station. The homeowner, face flushed with rage, immediately pointed at the 2 men and shouted, "It's them. They broke into my house and stole everything." Yet to everyone's astonishment, the old thief calmly stood up, adjusted his coat collar, and addressed the approaching inspector. "Sir, that man is lying," he continued, his expression cool as though delivering testimony in a courtroom. "He invited us here for a friendly card game, but after losing all his money and jewelry, he went mad and threatened to call the police unless we gave everything back. A baseless accusation, I must say." The inspector frowned and glanced around the room. Indeed, the scene looked very much like a private gambling lounge. Cards neatly arranged, wine still aromatic, cash and jewelry scattered like game prizes. and the television continued casting its dim glow across the space. "This doesn't look good for you," the officer said sternly, turning to the homeowner. "It appears you've been hosting an illegal gambling session in your own home, and now you're accusing your guests of theft. One more lie, and I won't hesitate to put you in handcuffs." As the officers prepared to leave, the old thief folded his hands and bowed politely. "Please, sir, don't leave us here. We fear the gentleman might lose his temper and do something reckless without the presence of the law." The inspector nodded, agreeing to escort the two men out of the house with a most courteous and trusting escort. And guess what strange thing happened? The two thieves calmly walked away from the scene, carrying all the cash and jewelry they had just won right under. This story, no matter how humorous and bizarre it may seem, leaves behind a profound lesson amidst the swirling wine and the flickering lights of a midnight performance. It reminds us that intelligence and a cool head can turn the tide, even in the most perilous situations, like a chess piece moved at just the right moment. But it also makes clear that deceit, no matter how clever, will eventually lead one to a dead end, a street with no exit named truth. Whether you are the schemer like the old thief or the homeowner blinded by greed, the game of deception ultimately has no real winner, because stolen coins and necklaces won through trickery will never truly be lasting possessions. True success lies not in wit or manipulation, but in holding fast to one's conscience amidst the quietest temptations. In a world full of cleverness, the most precious thing is not gold or silver, but a peaceful sleep within a soul that no longer needs to put on a show for life. And perhaps, on those cold English winter nights, that lesson is worth keeping, like a warm cup of tea for the heart, quiet yet deeply comforting.